Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss the topic file handling in Python. It's a very important concept for your class 12th examination. Now we'll start the topic and first we'll go for the definition. The definition is very simple. A file is a collection of related data stored in a computer for future use. You just see the few points here, a few words related data. It means when you are going to store the records in any particular file, these records must be related. For example, if you have your physics copy or physics notebook, if you have your chemistry notebook, then in physics notebook you will store only the related to the physics data. In chemistry copy or notebook, you will store the data related to the chemistry. Or in any other file, when you are going to store the data, it must be related to that particular subject. In the same way, you can say here that when we are discussing about the file, it means it's a collection of related data stored in a computer for future use. Once you have stored the data, you can use it for future. Now in the next step, you can see that need of file handling in Python. As you know, when you are writing any program, so every program is giving you some output. It depends on the program, or for what you have designed that program, output will be accordingly. Now up to the class 11th or up to the last topic, whatever you have done, means whatever the programs you have done, when you are calculating the output and when you are getting the output, and if you are closing your screen or if you are closing the programming language or if you are shutting down your system, next time when you will open your program, you will not find that output. Once again you have to give the input, then you have to process, and then you will get the output. So what if we want to store that output for a future use? It means suppose you have stored the data of your class. The complete detail you have stored as the roll number, name, and so on. If you have stored in a file, if you want to see it tomorrow or day after tomorrow or in future, then these data must be there. So it means you have to store the data. You are writing the program, through the program you are feeding the data, and then you want to store these data. So for these data or to store these data, you need a file. Now in this topic we will learn that how we will create the file and how we will store the file through the Python program and where these files can be stored. So a very simple idea to learn this topic is we are going to create a file, we are going to store the data in these files, and what other option we can do with these data or with these files, that you see that first you will create the file, then you can insert the record, then you can retrieve the records, then you can delete the records, you can update the records. It means whatever the possible options are there, you can perform with these files. In general, the options will be you can access the data. It means in future you can see the data, you can update those data, you can delete those data at any moment or at any point of time when you need it. So that's why we are learning here file handling. So once again you see the conclusion. The file is a collection of related data which we are going to store for a future use. Plus, why we are learning here this file handling, when we are writing the program, if we want to store the output of that particular program for future use, then we have to use these files. I hope it should be clear. Now the next concept, there are two types of files in Python or in any language generally. We have two types of files. One is a text file, other one is a binary file. Now, what is a text file and what is a binary file? See, the text files are a special subset of binary files that are used to store human readable characters as a rich text document or plain text document. Text file also store data in a sequential byte, but bits in text file represents character. A very simple. Suppose you have your notepad. You type something, and then when you store it, it automatically will be stored in the text format. So when we are talking about the text file, it means the contents are stored in human readable characters. You can read this file when you are going to open, or when you want to open, you can read these contents. But in another side, the binary files are those typical files that stores their data in the form of sequence of bytes grouped into 8 bits or sometimes 16-bit. This is 8-bit representation, 16-bit representation, or 32-bit representation. It depends on your system. And these bits represent custom data, such as file can store in multiple types of data, images under a single file. Now, but what you have to keep in your mind that these files will be in a coded form. When you will open it, it's executable or in executable form. So binary file will be in the form of special characters or in the form of bits, just like 0, 1 or some special character which is not possible to read. So finally, what you have to keep in your mind that the text files are the simple files and the binary files are the coded files. The text file can be read by the user, but these files cannot read by the user. I hope it should be clear. In the next step, we will see the clear difference in text file and binary file. Here, the bits represents the character and bit represents the custom data. Custom data means this one, as your image or audio, text, etc. Now the text files are less prone to get corrupt as changes reflect as soon as the file is opened and can easily be undone. It means suppose you have opened any text file. Here it was written E and you have deleted it. So immediately you can just guess it that something has gone wrong, or suppose if you want to edit it. So you can easily, but can easily be get corrupted. Even a single bit change may corrupt the file. Suppose you have opened a binary file and some special characters are there. You have changed it. So we don't know about these characters. So a little bit change also may corrupt that file. And because that will be the sequence of execution, so it may corrupt that file. The third point is, can store only plain text in a file, but this binary file you can understand or you can see that can store different types of data, either image, audio, text in a single file. This is widely used format and can be opened using any simple text editor as your notepad. and this developed especially for the application and may not be understood by any other application. Suppose you have your image. So this image can be opened in image editor, or which follows this particular format. Suppose you have a PDF, you can open it in that particular format, but you cannot open one format into another, while this file text file can be opened in any editor. The next is, mostly this .txt and .rtf are used as extension to the text file, and here can have any, just like your .jpg and something, .png. These are the extensions of the binary file. So I hope it should be clear. You just go through these points and keep in your mind. Actually, you will get one question in a board examination. What is the difference? What is the difference between binary file and text file? At that time, you will be getting only 2 marks question. So at that time, you just go through these contents and you just write in this format. One side you write the text file and other side you write the binary file. If you will write in this way, you will get a you will get the marks. So once again, conclusion: the text file and binary file. The text file has extension .txt. The binary file can have the any extension. As I have given you example, it may have jpg, .png and any other extension, while it will have only this txt extension. The binary file will be represented bits in a character, and it will represent in a, or in single, in one concept you can keep in your mind, that when we are talking about the text file, it's a human readable. When you're talking about the binary file, you cannot read it. When you will open this file, you can not read the codes of that particular file. Here, if you will update anything, easily you can find the changes. Here you cannot update directly, and if any change you are doing here, it may corrupt the file. So I hope it should be clear to all of you. Now come to the next concept: creating, opening and closing of a file. Now the main point is how we will create the file through a Python program, because now everything will be done through a Python. It means when we are writing the program, one way is there that you just go to the text editor and you write there. But here the concept is how we will create a file through Python program. You have to write a Python program and you have to create the file there only. Now the next concept is, once you have created the file, how can you open that file? And if you have opened the file, then how can you read or write the contents to those files? So what we are going to learn here, the first option is how we can create a file. Means you are going to create a file, or here through Python program we can create, and through the text editor, but here completely we will go only for the Python program. Now how we will open that particular program or that particular file, sorry, and when you are opening those files, how we will read and write the contents in those files. So in the next example, we will learn how to create first, how to open the created file, to read the contents. How to create the file, how to open it to read the content, and how to open the file to write the content. The first, these 3 points we learn here. What we are going to learn? First, creating a file. Creating a file. Then, opening that file. For what? You will open the file either to read the content or to write the content in that file. And after completing your work, always you have to close the file. Why you have to close the file? Just I'll explain to you. So come here. See, if you want to create a file named student to store some contents, you can write the code as given below. What we have to write? This one, this contains in Python editor. Suppose this is your Python editor. Here you will write fout equal to open student.txt and then comma w. Now first, a very important concept. When we are opening the file, you should know for what purpose you are going to open the file. Either you are going to open the file to read, or you are going to open the file to write the contents. Means the before writing any program, you has to keep in your mind that for what purpose you are writing the code, either to read the file or to write the file, or to read the contents from the file or to write the contents to the file. Here first we are going to open a file to write the contents. We are going to write the contents into the file. So we have to give the instructions to the machine that we are going to open this file in a writing mode. Then it will allow you to write the contents in that particular file. So very simple. Here if we will write W, this for the write. What we are doing here, we are opening the file student.txt. In which mode? In writing mode. So if you want to open the file in writing mode, you have to write a W. This is a file mode. We will explain in detail also, but just only introductory part I am giving to here, that how we will open the file in writing mode. Just you have to use the open function. You have to write the name of the file, and then whatever the name of the file, and then comma this W. It indicates that you are going to open the file in writing mode. I hope it should be clear. Now actually when we are opening the file, we have to give this link to the file, the link of the file from our program. So we are opening this file student.txt, and just you have give the link to this. Actually this is a stream. We will discuss about the stream, but a very simple concept. For just a simple concept, you keep in your mind that when we are writing fout equal, this is a variable, any variable can be taken, open, and here the name of file is student.txt and then W. So this file has been opened now, student, and the file has been linked to this stream and the fout. Now whatever the whatever work we will do with this file, this fout is responsible to link this file. So this is just a stream. It means the link between our program and file. You just, for a point of moment, you just understand that this fout or any other variable you can take, it's the link between your file and your program. Once again, you see, when you are writing this fout equal to this open and something, this f out will be the link of that particular file. I hope it should be clear. Now what we are doing here, f out equal to this one, and then you have to write f out dot write. This write is a function. This write is a function which will write the content to the file. In which file? The file which is linked with this f out. F out is linked with the student. Now whatever you will write, automatically these contents will go to that particular file through the write statement. But how the write statement will be used? This f out, because this f out is linking the file student. So if you will this f out is linking the file student, then when you are writing f out dot write, it means this write function automatically will write the content to the file student. So here what we are writing, this is my first program of file handling. A very simple now. Once again you see what we have written, f out equal to open student.txt comma w for writing purpose. It means in the writing mode we are going to open. Then you have to write f out dot write. You have to understand this concept, f out dot write. F out dot write means this f out is the link to the file student. Now when you are writing this write function, this whatever the contents you are writing here, these contents will be written to the file student. I hope it should be clear. And at that, after completing it, you just write at the end f out dot close to close that particular file. Now the next option, you see the read the contents from the existing file. Now you have created the file. What will happen at this moment? The student file will be created if it is not there, and then these contents will be written over this file. Now in the next example, we are learning how to open that file to read the contents. So once again, this open function is there to open the file. What we have to do, we have to write that which file we are going to open, and we have to also mention that in which mode you are going to open. So here we have written R means reading mode. Reading mode means now the file is open for the reading purpose. And here we have one function, read line. I'll just explain you in detail in the next video. Read line. This read line function will read a one line from the file. Actually we have written one line here. So this line will be read by this read line function and will be stored in the variable str. Here if you will see this one, this statement str equal to open student.txt comma r. This statement will open the file student file. This statement will open this student file in the reading mode, and this next in the next statement str equal to read line. This read line function will read a line from the file and will store it into the variable str, and in next step you have printed it. Print str, and finally you can close it. How you will close? fin dot close. What is this fin? This fin is just like a stream which is linking the program, your program, to the file. It's the current program to the file, and through that we can communicate with that file. So I hope it should be clear. Now the third step, third example, if you want to append the file, it means you have created the file and later on you want to update some contents, update the content in that particular file. So very simple. Once again you have to open the file in writing mode. F out, this can be taken any variable. F out equal to, don't think that F out is a reserved word. F out can be taken anything. So F out equal to just open. What you are opening? This particular file which is already created. Sorry, here it will be student.txt. Student.txt. The file name is student.txt. And comma a. This a indicates that we are opening the file in writing as well as in append mode. I hope it should be clear. So suppose you have written, already you have written, this is my first program in file handling, and then you have written once again, welcome to my world. Now in your file, there will be two lines. The first line is, this is my first program, or this is the program for file handling, or my first program, whatever you have written. And the second line is, welcome to my world. So this, through the A, when you are opening the file, through this A, the contents will be added. What will happen now? Keep very important concept now. What will happen if you, suppose once you have written this code, and the second time again you are opening the file with the writing mode, and you are writing, suppose another line, fout dot write, and suppose you are writing here, hello, how are you? What will happen in this case? The previous contents will be erased and the new contents will be written over there. It means the previous contents, whatever you have written, will be overlapped by the new contents. Previous contents will not be there and the new contents only will be there. So keep in your mind, if you want to replace the existing file, you just write a W. But if you want to keep the previous record, it means by keeping the previous record, if you want to add the new records, then you have to write this A, and when you are writing this A, it will keep the previous record as well as will add the new record. That's why in your file two records will be there. The first line is this one and the second line is this one. I hope it should be clear. So thank you very much for watching this video. Just like and share the videos through which the other can be benefited. And the next I will explain to you in continuation. In the next video, I'll give you some more details. Thank you very much.